Hour.
Hello and welcome back to the Horror Hour, the show where we discuss, debate,
And disagree.
on all things horror. I'm one of your hosts, George, and today I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Liam.
Yes.
And it's Liam's birthday today, everyone. Happy birthday, Liam! And how's it feel to be 76 today?
No, I'm a sprightly 92.
A sprightly 92.
It's
But it's not about Liam's birthday today, unfortunately, in this video.
never about me.
I'm so sorry. Of course, we are going to be discussing, with spoilers, obviously, the final two episodes, volume 2 of Stranger Things Series 4. It was 3 hours and 45 minutes of craziness. So we're gonna delve in, but I think first we should just say, Liam, give me like your overall thoughts in a quick sentence of these last two episodes.
Ah, oh my god, cry.
Yeah, mine would be, why are we still here? And then it would be, just like several crying face emojis for the season finale. Which we'll get into, but let's talk about that first. And the sadness is real, guys. Okay, I saw a lot of people like that. I see there's been like a lot of people who weren't happy with the last two episodes because I think they thought like this was going to be like some sort of like Red Wedding Game of Thrones thing where like everybody died, but I've never really thought that was going to happen.
No.
So I mean, for you then, did you find it emotional, and if so, what parts got you going?
I did find it emotional. I started crying at the point where Will realized what was happening with Mike, so decided to change the painting from a painting of love for him to a painting commissioned by Elle.
Yeah.
To cheer Mike up. And I was that, and then like when he turned and just silently sobbed to him, I was like, oh god, I'm done, I'm out. So that started it. Then I started crying again when Will was talking to his brother.
Yeah.
Is it Charlie?
Jonathan.
I want to say Charlie.
Charlie's
Jonathan.
his name. Close.
Is that the actor's name?
Yeah.
Oh well, man. Shit happens. Yeah. So that started us again. Then obviously I was just uncontrollable sobbing throughout the whole of the Max scene.
Yeah.
And then started crying again with our Lord and Savior Eddie. And then Dustin's speech to his uncle was just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like, that young boy can act circles around anyone, and it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, he is brilliant. I think there was a lot of the cast that really stood out. I think him and Lucas really stood out to me in the last episode with their acting, their emotional portrayals. I thought was great. For me, I cry. I mean, I didn't cry with the Will scene because I was just thinking like, because when he's turned around, I was like, how thick is Mike? Like, can you not, like, how stupid is this boy? Like, can we not see what's going on here? Like this his friend's literally like flooding the car with tears, and he's just like, oh, pain. But but I was like, oh, I thought that was really nice. I love that all of the theories of that Will had like drawn the upside down or something weird, because everyone's screenshot in the first episode like the red spikes. They were like, it's Vecna's. I'm like, oh, we did this with WandaVision, we're not doing it again. It's not that deep.
It's not Mephisto.
But I think the painting was brilliant. I mean, damn, he's got some artistic. You see the gays, they're artistic as fuck.
Artistic or autistic?
Bit of both. But I obviously like I was really, because Eddie died for the song they played. I was actually on the soundtrack and listened to it. Eddie died first, and I was kind of like, I did cry because I was like, oh, this, like, I did cry. But when the Max thing, it was like, I'll put up a picture now for you guys here so you can see. I don't think I've actually I genuinely actually don't think I've cried. I think that I cried more at that than I did for, which is controversial, for when Daenerys died. But I think I was kind of prepared for months for Daenerys to die because of the way her storyline was going. Whereas I was literally like, I actually physically nearly vomited because I was crying that much, like, because I couldn't catch my breath. I was like it was. I wish I'd recorded it because it was insane. Like, it looked like I'd gone into a stroke because I was like going like on the couch. It was mad. Honestly, no, it wasn't. I actually like just think about it. I'm like so glad none of my housemates, because I was watching it in the living room. Somebody walked past and didn't know what was going on. I'm like, called the ambulance.
George, has somebody died?
Yeah.
Yes.
The Queen. But no, I mean, that scene between her and Lucas when she was like, I can't see and I don't want to die, and he was like screaming for Erica to call. I was like, oh, this is the music.
Too much.
It was too much.
Squeezing my heart. Like, I've got very little goodness left in me, and that was overload.
Yeah, it was.
I don't think I'll ever be sad again.
No, it was too much, far too much. But let's break down then quickly the three storylines. Let's start with Russia. I honestly, like, I feel so bad. I was just like, every time they went back to Russia, I was like, we don't need this.
Like, we're not done here.
Like, they could have just, in the end of the episode 7, was it, when they saw each other, we could have just time jumped and then we saw them arrive in the end of episode 9. Like, I mean, it was obviously, it's nice, and I really do. I think David Harbour, Winona Ryder, and that they're great cast, and they have great chemistry, and I did enjoy the scenes. But I'm like, this, for me, it just wasn't.
Yeah, I could have done with a lot less of the Russia scene, but I could have done with a lot less of the Russia scene in the first part as well. I did enjoy Murray getting his moment.
Yes, that was.
And setting them fuckers on fire. Like, I was like, get it, yes.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
yeah, like, I think obviously it was to add the continuation of their like at this point, I'm so over them going for dinner, because I'm just like, we've been talking about this for so long now. I'm like, if we mention this fucking restaurant one more time, like,
I hope that restaurant fell into the ground, into the upside down.
But I mean, and also I feel like he will die by the end of series 5. I feel like they're never gonna. It'll be this whole like, it'll be like any Torchwood fans, like Tosh and Owen, where they're like, we never did get that date, did we? It's really sad. Anyway.
Could you imagine though, right? If after all of this, Stranger Thing ends with them all living happily ever after.
And I think
it livid.
I think, well, all these people are saying that the last line will be like, like out of a like a coming of age film where like somebody's talking over like a voiceover as it zooms out, and they're like, life in Hawkins was pretty cool, but stranger things happen. If that happens, I will jump out a window. But there's loads of spin-offs coming, so I'm intrigued to see like where they take place and think. Anyway, I've gone from a tangent here. Yeah. Russia story, because there's nothing to talk about in the Russia storyline. But no, out of the 3, look, it wasn't terrible, but out of the 3 that are going on, it's just the least like, there's not that much going on. Like, we've dealt with these creatures before, like, it's nothing new. Again, I like the group of actors that and those characters. I think that they are good, and I'll be interested to see if we see any of them again in series 5. Like, obviously Maurice will stay on, but I wonder if the Russian dudes, I can't remember their names, will stick around, because they also headed to America or going. So I don't know, but yeah, for me it was all right. I was like, can we get back to the main part, personally? And then obviously we've got the California storyline. What were your thoughts on that one?
Argyle is precious, and I just need him to live. I need a spin-off with Argyle, just going around America getting stoned in different places. Like, I love how the first part 1 was just Argyle was comic relief. And that's all he was through part one. But I love in part two that he actually did things.
Yeah.
Like he did them in his own way,
Mm-hmm.
which made it even better. But I couldn't really have given a shit about any of the other characters in that storyline because Argyle was just so funny and so good. He was so well written, so well acted. Like and then the fact that they had like the twin version of him at that second Surfer Boy pizza was just amazing. Yeah, like so clever of him coming up with like, well, they can use the freezer. Obviously, he knows that there's going to be a load of salt there because that's what they need. Like I just love him. He's so good. And I too like pineapple on pizza, so I'm with him.
You're
like,
with Elle and him.
Yeah. Pineapple on pizza for the win. Controversial, I know, but shit happens.
It's not my bad.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, well, obviously there was a lot more that went on in that storyline than just Argyle. You know, we did have Elle bringing down the helicopter was iconic. I thought I enjoyed that because I'm not like a huge fan of 11. Like I can take it or leave it. Obviously, when she does something like that, it's like woo, but I'm not like always rooting for her. But I did enjoy that scene, and I liked the final scene between her and Papa when when he was like, you know, can you forgive me? And she was like, bye bitch.
I will I'll give you that. Yes, that scene was good.
Because he was.
I was interested.
She didn't forgive him. I thought, good for you, because sometimes, you know, in those scenes are always like, oh, I forgive you, it's fine. But I like that she didn't. So I thought that was quite good. And I loved the them like driving up. I love when they like grabbed her and then she turned on, she's like, oh shit. Like it was I thought it was a nice scene, a nice reunion. And then I thought the surfer boy, whatever the name of
Surf Boy Pizza.
I really like that scene, and I liked when they were like setting up for the tank, and Argyle was like making a pizza. Like, you know, it's the most important.
I just love the way they were cutting between them, like setting up the tank and him making a pizza. Like that's not really something you'd be like, if you describe the scene, you wouldn't expect it to be good. But it was funny, like the way it was done made it interesting and made it quite funny. So I liked it.
Yeah, and also because obviously it comes in and we'll talk. It sort of bleeds into the next storyline as well because it's kind of in the middle. With Elle going into Max's mind. I thought that bit was iconic because I was like, there were so many times when I thought Max was going to die and I was like, I'm just waiting for it. And then I was thinking, no, Elle's going to turn on, she's going to turn on, and she did. And it was, so I really enjoyed, and I do really like the scenes of those two together because I think it's nice because at the very beginning when they introduced Max, I was like, yeah, I don't want Max. And like, you know, Elle was a bit cautious, but I really like that they've developed that friendship now, and that she was like, so, you know, it was nice to see. So yeah, I love that. But let's talk about Hawkins then, because obviously it's the best storyline, with the best cast. What did you think of the Hawkins storyline?
I thought the whole of the Hawkins storyline could have just been this whole series. It was so good. Every single character within the Hawkins storyline, excellent. Just excellent across the board. There was no weak link. Could have done with a little bit more Erica.
Yeah.
Smidge more. But yeah, like no problems. Eddie throughout the whole thing, phenomenal. Like gutted he is not going to be in the next one. I assumed we were going to get rid of legacy characters. Obviously we didn't.
No.
Which shame, because I would have liked to see Mike go bye-bye.
Maybe season 5.
But yeah, like Dustin, great. Putting him and Eddie together. I love how they like keep on just throwing Dustin with the older teens. And he just the chemistry that he has with every single one of them whenever he's with them is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like you felt the emotion from Dustin, and that's because that actor is so good.
Yeah.
Like when he was trying to run to Eddie but couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nancy, she probably could have died as well, to be fair. Just like we've got to protect Robin, we've got to protect Steve, and we've got to protect Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
And well,
we had to protect Max, but
we had to protect Max, but no longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I found Lucas quite annoying at the beginning in part one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like his storyline really redeemed in part two.
Yeah,
as you said, the interactions that he was having with Max and Sadie Sink are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the interaction he had with Jason as well.
Yeah.
It was like really emotional, really gut punchy, and I really, really got behind that scene.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Hawkins again was the best out of the three storylines, and I think it's the cast. The cast and the characters, I think they all just gel so well, and I think it's nice to see those. I was going to say bigger teams, but there was a bigger team in California, but I was less interested in that storyline than I was. I think the characters that were in Hawkins are just a bit more interesting, and there's a lot more story and character development there that can be done. So thrilled Steve didn't die, because they kept like doing this whole thing when he was telling Nancy like I was like, Steve, I'm like, they're setting this up for Steve to die. But yeah. I thought Eddie was going to die, only because he's attending London Film and TV Comic Con, and I thought he's obviously only in one series, then otherwise he probably wouldn't have gone. But I thought he's great. I think he's a great actor, and this is the first thing I've ever seen him in, but I'm looking forward to seeing. I'd like to go back and see more other stuff. And then the whole it's just that for me the whole Max thing was just like, I loved the scenes in her mind. I loved seeing like the flashbacks to her when she was practicing skating. I loved that she went back to the prom. I loved then when Elle came to save her, and it was like, yes, we love this, female rights. And that she like just shoved that. And I really it was just great. And then I was so terrified when Jason stood on the whatever it's called, cassette player.
Cassette player.
I was like,
she's done for. Yeah. She's done.
But when her arms started breaking, I was like, they're doing it. They're actually doing it. And I loved it all, and I would like probably go back and like skip through the series just to watch like if anyone puts together like a compilation of just the Hawkins storyline episodes, I would watch those.
Please let us know.
Yeah, but I want to ask then, kind of, because my question is, do we think that Max is still alive? And what I mean by that is that obviously her heart is beating, but when we saw 11 go into her mind, she was, and I know she's comatose, she wasn't there, but there wasn't even like a comatose version of her like asleep. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes what I would imagine, she would be on a hospital bed and she wouldn't be active, but there was nothing there. And I wonder if Elle, if she's just like a vessel at this point now, like she's like that Max is gone. And because I was thinking at one point, if this shit better end, when it was like at the very end, when obviously we saw that Hawkins is going to be in a little bit of deep shit for series 5, which was great, by the way. I love that. I love that ending. I thought it was great. But when we saw, I thought at the very end, like when that was going to happen, Max was going to like open her eyes. I was like, yes, but she didn't. So I'm wondering, I'll be interested to see where they take a character, whether, I don't know, in the next series, like Vecna inhabits her body.
No, I think part of the story is going to be 11 having to go into Max's mind and find her.
Yeah. I'm interested to see, because like, obviously I love Max, but I think it would have, we'll see what happens, but I think it would have been so much more poignant and punchier for her to have died.
I don't
like saying that because I love the character, But sometimes I just think like that would have been just like the most depressing thing ever. And I wonder though if there will be a or repercussion or something like that with the fact that Elle basically brought her back to life, and if that's, you know, against like natural laws, like she was supposed to die. Like I'll be intrigued to see what season 5 does with that storyline, because obviously it's like, well, she's in a coma and everything's happening in Hawkins, like how it's not like, you know, we think everything's fine and we're going to be spending time with Max, and like, are we just going to be wheeling her about Hawkins like
Come on.
just like asleep? So, but I mean, Sadie Sink was to me the standout of this, but I also want to mention, because we haven't really just quickly touch on Vecna, and Henry,
Yes.
and one who Jamie Campbell-Bower, who was brilliant, and I hope that he comes back, as obviously Vecna is not dead, as Will said, so I do hope that he comes back in the form of with Jamie Campbell-Bower playing him.
You like, I was thinking about that and I was like, that would be amazing, because he was so good in the flashback scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also so terrifying as actual Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm torn between which version I would like to see.
Yeah, but they're both Jamie Campbell-Bower.
Yeah, they're both Jamie Campbell-Bower.
But I mean, so
like,
that's what I'm saying is, yeah, would if Vecna comes back, is it going to be as like a presence, like he's not really there and like inhabits bodies, but like, or will it be one of the forms that, but as Jamie Campbell-Bower portrays him, is what I'm meant to say. Like,
well,
if
I would
he comes
assume
back,
so, because
yeah.
the body had got up and gone.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming he's still going to be.
Or like,
Vecna.
will he be in the Mind Flayer body? Do you know what I mean?
No, well, because the Mind Flayer was that swarm.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be in a swarm. Not going to be just him floating in the middle.
He could do like a Daenerys and be riding on the top of it like it's a dragon.
He could. He could. But I think he's still going to be Vecna.
Yeah. In some form.
Or Vecna. Just going to look like Vecna.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. But, okay, then. So what's for you? What would you like to see next for series 5?
Want total destruction. I want season 5 to have a small time jump in between.
I think it is having a time jump, isn't it?
Better. And I want season 5 to pick up with Vecna has just obliterated Hawkins, and it's spreading out.
Yeah.
I don't want us to be in Hawkins for season 5. I want world domination of Vecna. I want the world to realize Vecna was real.
Mm-hmm.
And I want him just to fucking obliterate it all.
And do you want 8 to come back?
Nah.
She could help out.
Yeah, I forgot it was even a boot.
Bless her. I think, well, from what I'd heard, there was going to be a time jump, so I would assume, like, I would like it to be like, maybe I feel like a Silent Hill sort of vibe. So like, you know, they're like hiding in one of the houses, do you know what I mean? Or like The Mist, where it's like, you know, all these creatures are outside and they're trying to survive. And so I would like that. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see how they wrap it up and how many episodes and how long they'll be, because these were some long episodes. So if they're going to do this, I mean, I'm down for it because it was great. I really, really enjoyed it.
I'm down.
The feature-length episodes. But yeah, I think I'd like to see that sort of like, yeah, apocalyptic, like, you know, to really show that they did lose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To kind of really bring that home. And you know, to like, because then you could have like, you know, Max on like life support in like some basement, and like she's only got like one drip left, and they've got to get like things to try and keep her alive and stuff like that. I'd also like Will to maybe do something in series 5. No, I didn't mean like that. I sort of like I want him to like.
I'm finally gonna get it.
Like I want him to like have some sort of power or something. Like I think it should be that he is the one that destroys.
It would be fun if he got a connection. Because
he's obviously, you know, I feel like there is more to explore there, like why he, I mean, obviously we still don't know. I mean, that could be something that Winter's never explored or has explored in it. to me, my idea was that Will created the Upside Down. That is my thing, and that's why all of the characters look and are based on D&D characters. That's why it's still set in the year that he went missing. And it's the time is frozen at that point, but if you open it at any point in time, it'll always be there. So hence when Vecna was sent, well, Henry was sent, PH1 was sent into the Upside Down. That was in 80 thing. Yeah, I would like it to basically, I would also like it to be that Will is just evil.
But
because he was the magician.
It's already been shown that
what?
Will didn't create the Upside Down.
When was it shown?
It showed you at the end part of the final that Elle created the Upside Down opening.
She opened
she opened gateway. It with Vecna. So it showed you obviously her sending him into that dimension.
Yeah.
At the end of part 1.
Yeah.
And then while he was monologuing to her in the final, he explained that she created it by reopening the portal, looking for him in the mind tank.
No, but I thought they just said that he found them through looking through.
She found him.
Yeah.
She was looking for him. She was looking for him, and she opened it. Yeah, he was getting Elle to Elle was looking for him on behalf of Papa, and that created the Upside Down.
Yeah, but the Upside Down was already there because she sent him to the Upside Down years.
Yeah,
prior.
but it wasn't Hawkins.
Well, they should have sent him to a different part. I listen. I think Will did it.
Well, you're wrong.
And that's why Will always dressed up as that wizard, because he's like the mastermind behind it all.
No.
And Will's just an evil.
He's too much of a simp for it to be Will.
Yeah, but what a plot twist. He's like, that really worked, didn't it? Fuck you, Mike. And stabs him in the face.
Plot twist, he's been using that bowl cut as a disguise all this time.
Takes it off and his hair's full of secrets. Anyway, that went off on a tangent. But tell me then, let's wrap this up. What are you rating? I mean, rate volume 2 and then give me a rating for the whole thing.
So
volume 2 rating.
Volume 2, because of the Russia storyline, gets a 8.5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd probably say an 8.5.
Whole thing, I think it would stick with an 8.5 because again, the part 1, I had a problem with both of the storylines of Russia and California. California improved in part 2, so that boosts it up. Yeah. But I think overall it would be an 8.5.
I'd probably give it a 9, just because I really enjoyed it, just for Sadie Sink's performances in this series. But yeah, I think it's one of the stronger of the 4 seasons, and I think that it's you feel like the stakes are getting higher and higher, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what season 5 has to bring. But let us know in the comments below, what did you think of this series as a whole, but also mainly of volume 2? What would you like to see next? Do we think Max is dead? What's going on? What's the vibes? Did Will create the Upside Down? No. Will they ever stop queer baiting with Will and actually say it? All these really exciting things that we can't wait for. They really brought this out the day after Pride month end and said, we're not going to tell you.
No, we can't bring this out on Pride.
Yeah. So yeah, do let us know in the comments below what you thought about it, and what you think is going to be next. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Horror Hour TV. Links in the description below, as well as the link to our merch. Of course, we've got continuous videos coming. We've got some new reviews, some films I haven't seen, lots of stuff are coming, so it's going to be very exciting. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to The Horror Hour. See you next time.